Oh.
Where is everyone?
Fear not, Princess of Dalmasca. We, Occuria, have chosen you, and you alone. Ashalia Benarg and Dalmasca, we see your heart desires power, and power most holy shall we grant. Seek you the sun-crest, slumbering star. In tower on distant shore, it dreams. The mother of all Nephesite, the source of its unending power.
Another MacGuffin.
The Dynast King, his fallow shards, coarse trinkets cut from sun-crest's light.
Such power exists?
In times that are long passed away, we sought to save this Evilise, and chose Wraithwall, the Dynast King. He took the sword and cut the crest. 3 shards he took from its gilt grasp, and so became the Dynast King. His words and deeds run through your veins.
That's why I was given it. The Sword of Kings.
The treaty held with kings of old is but a memory, cold and still. With you, we now shall treat anew, to cut a run for history's flow. Now take this sword, this treaty blade, Occurian seal, mark of your worth. Cut deep the crest, and seize your shards. Wield Dynast King's power. Destroy Villainy.
But Villainy... Villain's an Occurian. A being like you.
Villainy is a heretic. The Nephesite is ours to give to chosen bearer, or to none. The heretic trespassed, and set the rose of knowledge in man's hand. With imitations they profane. It is anathema to us. We give you now the stone and task. Administer judgment. Destroy them all.
Judgment? Destroy them all? The Empire?
The hues ever skew history's weave. With haste, they move through too short lives. Driven to err by base desires, toward waste and wasting, on they run. Undying, we Occuria light the path for wayward sons of man. Oft did we pass judgment on them, so that Evilise might endure. Eternal, we are history's stewards, to set the course and keep it true. The chosen is our hand, our fist, to let live some and crush the rest. Princess, you have been chosen. Take revenge against those who stole your kingdom. Fulfill your role as savior. Attain to your birthright.
Ash. What's with these Occuria? What gives them the right to tell you what to do?
Will you take revenge, as they ask?
Huh?
We could not see them, but we heard the Occuria speak. They may be gods, but we are the arbiters of our destiny. Your Highness, I'm against this. The Empire must pay, but destruction...
Does anyone know what happened to Dr. Sid? Wasn't he saying he'd be here?
Unrelated.
He should have arrived by now.
And I should have realized by now. He's not coming. He laid out the bait, and we bit. Remember what he said? He wanted Ash to get the stone. He wanted that all along. That's why he flaunted his nethicite, and reeled us in with his stories about Get-A-Vegan, all to bring Ash to the Occuria.
But wait, if we got a hold of the nethicite, wouldn't that be bad for the Empire?
Maybe he wants to see what happens when foes with nethicite collide. That'd be just like Dr. Sid.
I will search out the Sun Crest.
Okay.
History is built by our hands. That's his favorite line. He'd never stand by and watch the Occuria's stones shape things. So, he was talking to Villainy all along. He wasn't mad at all then, was he?
So...
Restore Dalmasca's sovereignty and make our amends with Lady Ash. It's the only way to avert war.
It is a war of necessity. Your Lady Ash herself is bent on it. She desires it above all else. She will not rest until her revenge is full wrought.
I fear you misread her intent. She would sooner shun war than embrace it.
You are young, Larsa.
And you presume beyond your ken.
Then let us look closer. Judge Gabranth. I would have you seek after the Lady Ash and judge whether she makes overtures of peace or war. Yours shall be the eyes of the Empire.
And should I espy war, I am to put her to the sword. Is that your wish, Excellency?
It will not come to that, I am sure. I have faith in her. Faith in you both.
That's a mistake.
On you, Gabranth, shall I wager all our fortunes?
As you will.
That so sweet a child could be your brother is hard to believe.
Larsa is as he should be.
What's that, Villainy? Ah, taken the bait already, have they? Splendid. The Occuria have given the princess her treaty blade.
The gods have chosen their scribe to write history as they deem fit. Yes, and she with fresh nethicite to aid her.
Bah! To hell with the Occuria and their stones. What good? A power that cannot be harnessed. Baubles best suited for study, no more.
We conquered 2 kingdoms that you might study these baubles.
Oh, I am grateful for the sacrifice. Without it, manufactured nethicite would have eluded us. An unrivaled weapon, I warrant you. Tell me, Villainy, have I not been an apt pupil?
My counsel did but guide your able hand. Through power of man, the stones did you perfect. Yes. So much accomplished in 6 fleeting years. Man's fervor o'er all obstacles prevailing.
Our lives are much too short. You undying might waste long centuries away, but we, I fear, cannot.
Just so. Had we more time, we might have availed ourselves of more prudent measures.
Your greatest work still lies before you. Not lightly will the Occuria allow you to wrest the reins of history from their grasp, back into the hands of man.
Indeed. What claim does Garen have on history's reigns? Seated on throne immortal, rent from time. For your ascendant's vein I offer prayer. May you attain all that which is your due.
Attain it I shall. For too long have my deeds gone unrewarded.
In tower on distant shore dreams the sun Christ. Do these words mean aught to you?
Didn't Redis say he was going to follow some other course? Maybe you found out something that can help.
I'd rather stay out of that Sky Pirate's debt, thank you.
What's wrong with Redis? I mean, if you can't trust your own kind, who can you trust?
You're
He's
an
a pirate.
expert on pirating now, are you?
Pirates don't trust their own kind, Vaughn. Where you been? So, I have a couple issues with that cutscene. So first of all, yet another thing we have to go get. Like, there's so many MacGuffins in this game. It's constantly just like, oh, you gotta go get this stone. Oh, you gotta go get the sword that can cut the stone. Oh, you gotta go get a sword that can cut a bigger stone. Like, it's starting to get a bit repetitive with the MacGuffins. But that's whatever. I do like the whole plot point of having the God Council, but then one of them betrayed them, and he's working with Vayne and Sid. Like, that's kind of interesting. But here's my question for you guys. Is it not kind of like, I guess, for lack of a better term, stupid, that the whole game up to this point, it's all about governing officials and strategy and wartime stuff and all this kind of politicking, but then here it's just like, oh, it's actually just gods that are just like controlling everything? Like, does that not, like, that comes across to me as like kind of a way out, instead of actually coming to some kind of conclusion with all the politics. We're just going to go with the gods told us to do it, and now it's gods versus God, basically. Like, I'm sure there'll be more to it, but right now it just kind of feels like, well, the gods decided that that's the way it's going to be, and then they gave us everything we need to go defeat the one god that went against them. Is it a new layer, or is it overwriting? That I guess that's my question. Is it a new layer to the politics, or is it overwriting all the politics and now it's just about gods and humans? Because to me it kind of feels like it's a bit overwriting what's happened up to this point. We've been trying to come up with a way to like to get rid of Vayne without starting a war. That's kind of been what that's what Ash has been after this whole time. Is like, she wants to get some kind of power that she can go up to Vayne and be like, don't start this war or else. That's basically her plan. But then now it's just like the gods are like, here's the power because Vayne's working with our brother who we don't like, you know? Like, I don't know. It just feels kind of, hopefully there's more to it. I mean, here's the thing. I get that putting the gods in kind of ups the stakes, but I don't think the stakes needed to be upped anymore. They've already contextualized that, like, the war is going to be the end of mankind nearly because of how strong the Empire is. So, like, stopping the war is basically at all costs at this point, which is why it's kind of weird that Bosch was like, I disagree with blowing them all up. Like, I get why he said that. Like, I think it fits his character, but, like, come on. At this point, we literally saw them with the Nethicite being like, we're going to use this to destroy everyone and just become all-powerful. So, like, how are you not going to say that this is a good idea. I don't know. But anyways, so that was kind of weird. Like, I like the twist. I like that it showed us that dude earlier and we didn't know who he was, and now we kind of know, so that's cool. The other thing I didn't understand, and this is probably just my fault because I'm not very good at following this story. I don't understand why they sent them to get the sword. And I don't know if we're supposed to know that yet. They mentioned it. They said, like, okay, good, they took the bait. And then Vane was like, oh, good, they have the sword. But then they didn't elaborate. So I'm kind of curious. I think maybe we're not supposed to know yet. But for some reason, they wanted us to go get the sword, even though it's basically the weapon that can defeat them. So that's curious. I wonder what that's gonna... Maybe Vana wants the sword. Like, maybe he wanted us to go get it so he could get it. That's probably what it is. Because he probably couldn't get it from his god friends, his god brothers. He couldn't persuade them to give it to him, obviously. So he put into place Ash going and getting it so that he could steal it, maybe. That's the only thing I could think of. I don't know why else Vane and Sid would want us to have the weapon that can destroy them. So that's interesting. That's an interesting plot point, and I'm curious to see where it goes. So yeah, I guess like I'm enjoying the layers that they're putting in. I don't know if I enjoy the overall idea of just having a god console now, because the whole kind of allure of the game is that it's all about humans and politics and what can happen, and now we're just throwing in like this more supernatural aspect. But I don't know. It could pay off. I won't jump the gun on that. Maybe it'll pay off well. At first I was like, oh man, here we go. But then I feel like I kind of get it now. Also, side note, I hate the term Nethicite and like all the different ways they say it. I wish they had called it anything else. It's just like every single cutscene, everyone's like, the manufactured Nethicite. And it's just so, I don't know, it's so cheesy sounding. They needed it like a shorter phrase or something. Every cutscene, we're gonna use the manufactured Nethicite. It's like so cheesy. I don't know what it is, but it's just, it sounds so cheesy. They should have called it Crystal Meth. Yeah, I never really... I mean, we'll get to that when we get to 13, but I never really liked the Fal'Cie LC thing either. I think that was more of just, it was a bit confusing, because they're the same word, but with 2 letters in the front. I wish they would have called it like 2 separate things completely. I was always confused as to which one they were talking about. It might be a bit easier now that I'm older, though. And then it got even more confusing in Type 0. Okay, so... I had everything mapped out on my way down. But now that I'm going up, I have to reverse everything in my head. And that's going to be kind of hard. Plus, we just watched that long cutscene, so now I kind of forget everything I saw. I know there was a Pisces gate somewhere. And I know I hit the switch for it. I can't remember if it was on this floor or the last floor. I'll see these. Let's go, Irish. But yeah, I mean, I think the story is starting to pick up a little bit. I'm interested in what's going on. I'm pretty interested in the dialogue between Vayne and Larsa, too. I think the only problem I have with Vayne right now is he's not... It's not that he's not evil enough. It's that we haven't seen him be evil enough, I think. Like, he doesn't... We need more cutscenes where Vayne is being, like, actually evil. Because I just don't feel it. I don't feel the evil energy off of him right now. Every cutscene, he's just sitting there. And half the cutscenes, he's with Larsa, so he's being nice. So I just don't get that, you know. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Oh my god, it's Vayne. You know. Yeah, there was the cutscene where, but I don't know. I guess I just need more. Because how did that cutscene? This was a while ago. This was like weeks ago. Because this game is so long. How did he kill his father again? Did we actually see him like stab him, or was it? Did he tell his judge to do it, or was he poisoned? I completely forget. I remember the cutscene where he was looking out that window. It was poison, right? Okay. Yeah. See, like that doesn't have the same oomph. I need like. I just need that, like, goofy evil, you know? I need, like, a cutscene where, like, his, hold on. What am I doing here? Time. We need a cutscene where, like, some lady comes in and she's like, I got your coffee, Vayne, and he's like, thank you, and he drinks it, and he's like, did you put sugar in this? And she's like, oh, sorry, I forgot. And then he's like, oh, it's okay. And just, like, stabs her. Like just something, like, over-the-top evil. Because, like I said, half the cutscenes you see, he's with Larsa, so he's, like, pretending to be good. He's pretending to be nice. Or, like, actually being nice, because I think he actually does want to be nice to his brother. Which is weird, because he killed his father, but... From what I've seen so far, it seems like he actually does want things to work out with Larsa. Maybe because he grew up with him or whatever. But, this is Pisces here. Okay, so it's the next floor that has the Pisces gate. But yeah, like, I need some, like, over-the-top, goofy, evil cutscene. Because you get, like, the start of the game where you think he's a good guy. Or, I mean, I think most of us that play a lot of RPGs probably looked at him and we were like, oh, he's probably the evil. He's probably going to be evil. But at the start of the game, he's given to you in a way that's like, oh, this is a good guy. And then there's a twist and it's like, oh, he's actually evil. But then we didn't get enough of, like, him being actually evil. I don't know. I'm sold that he's a bad guy. It's just, I don't get that super evil Sephiroth feeling from him yet. We need a cutscene of him ordering pineapple pizza. I don't know, he killed his father and now he wants to, like, take over the world, but I'm just not really sold. Wait, he's ordering pineapple pizza? Get the sword. Speaking of the sword, can I equip the sword? I can. It sucks. Get the treaty sword. We're gonna cut this man in half. Yeah, maybe that's part of it too. We don't have like a theme, you know, like we don't have like an evil Vayne theme. Like just think about other villains in the series, like Kuja. You hear Kuja's theme, and it instantly puts in your mind these cutscenes with Kuja being evil and that awesome, like, transform he has, and all of his really, like, memorable dialogue and stuff. Like, Vayne, it's like, oh, I remember when he sat in that chair that one time. I remember when he did the politics. Yo, Mantic! They go 25 months. Is the Pisces Gate not here? Because I thought it was here. Yeah, you have like Queen Braun, who's like just over the top, goofy evil. From the very start of the game. And she has that visual style of like just a pompous overlord. I think it's great. I love that over-the-top evil. It just works so well in games like this. Yeah, and it doesn't feel like Vayne is supposed to be a complicated character. Like, it doesn't feel like we're supposed to be sitting here thinking, like, is he really that evil? Because every person we talk to, they're like, oh, Vayne is so evil, you know? If it was supposed to be more of a, is he evil, is he not kind of thing, then I would get it. But, like, every person we talk to, they're like, oh, that Vayne, he's so evil. So, I don't know, it's weird. It doesn't fit as well. Okay, hold on. I want to check and see if there's some over here. Yeah, but I don't want a subtle, human, realistic villain. Not if every character is going to be like he's the spawn of Satan, you know? Like, I think for how everyone's reacting, he needs to be more outwardly evil. Because everyone in the game seems to think he's the spawn of Satan. Also, ow. Better. Help. Somebody help. You guys aren't helping. Yeah, a little bit. It's a shame because I really like that first speech he does. It sets him up as this character that's super, like, manipulative. He's able to pretty much capture the crowd, but then he turns out to be evil. And, like, that's so cool. But imagine how much better it would have been if, you know, like, okay, imagine how much better it would have been if he gave that speech, if everyone was like, Vayne, you suck, Empire sucks. And then he went out and he gave that speech, and by the end of the speech, everyone was like, you know what? This guy's not that bad. Like he seems, you know, he's the Empire, but maybe he can really help us out here. And then, like, right after that cutscene, you get some cutscene of him just, like, killing someone. Just doing something, like, super evil. Just that like, crazy... You know, because he had captured us, too, I think. The first time I saw that speech, even seeing that speech doing this playthrough, I was like, wow, this guy, you know, he's cool. I didn't remember that he was the main villain right off the bat, so I saw that cutscene and I was like, okay. And then, you know... to take that away from the player, like, right away, like, oh, you thought this guy was good? We gotcha, you know? Have that gotcha moment, where it's like, we reeled him in, and then, nope, this guy's actually super villain levels of evil. That would have, like, totally caught me off guard. I would have been like, wow, you got me, Square. Like, I straight up thought this guy was okay. Like, that would have been a really great rug pull. but it's much more nuanced. It's much more like you learn later that he's evil, and then a bunch of characters tell you that he's evil, but you don't really get to see it as much. Then at least you get the cutscene where he poisons his dad, but it almost comes across more of like a politicking, it was time for me to be king, it was for your own good, dad, which, yeah, still, killing your dad, very bad, but, you know, I think that scene maybe would have worked better if he was like, hey, Judge, look, what's over there, and then he just like in a more evil way, because poisoning his father, obviously evil, but it's more of a tame way of doing it, you know what I mean? Like, it's the better way out. It would have been better if he, like, murdered him in cold blood and stared into his eyes as he did it. I'm the king now, you know? Straight up Scar version, you know? Scar version of it. He's hanging on the cliff, please save me. He's like, I'm the king now, and steps on his foot and he falls into the, you know, that would have been, I think, better. That's how you set up a villain. And to see Simba trust his brother up to the very end. Brother, save me. Like, he trusts that Scar will save him. Then he's like, no, I'm the king now, you know. But, you know, that's only what I'm feeling right now. I'm not saying it's 100% the way it should have been. I'm just saying right now, with there being this evil god that's in control now, it makes me feel like Vayne has kind of fallen to the wayside a bit. He just sits in the cutscenes now, and this evil god is the one that's really pulling the strings, you know? So Vayne's kind of lost his luster as the villain for me at the moment. But we haven't seen his true colors yet. We haven't seen him unleashed yet. So who knows? It, you know, could get crazier. I mean, I think saying, like, you watch too much Disney, real-life villains aren't like that, I disagree. I mean, even in the Final Fantasy series, like I said, you have Sephiroth stabbing Tifa in the heart after killing her father, and we get to see all of that in real time. You have Braum being like this super over-exaggerated goofball villain, and then Kuja with his crazy theme. Like, even in the Final Fantasy series, I think it's okay to expect more, you know, outwardly evil villains. I don't think that's just a Disney thing. So somehow I missed the Pisces gate, but whatever. I'm sure we're probably gonna have to come back here later for a hunt, so. You have Ultimisia replacing C's with K's. The ultimate evil offense. Talk about goofy, over-the-top evil villains. And then apparently Ultimisia created the planet, the world of Ivalice, because everyone here talks with CKs. Yeah, I do appreciate, I mean, I think that what they were going for was a more, like, sly villain, you know, like, he isn't outwardly evil. You have to really look deep to see the evil in Vayne, you know, like, he has this outward appearance of being a nice guy and being an Empire guy, but being for the people, and then behind the scenes he actually is evil, and he only shows his evil when he has to. But I think that counteracts with the fact that every character we talk to says he's the spawn of Satan and needs to die, and the gods are like, we have to kill Vayne. He's the mastermind. We have to kill Vayne. You know what I mean? Like, it just counteracts too much. There needs to be one or the other. He needs to either be over the top evil, or no one else knows he's evil and only we know. Like, that would have been better if only our characters knew he was evil, and everywhere we went everyone was like, we love Vayne, Vayne's the best, and we're sitting there with the, you know, the ironic nature of knowing that he's evil and having to listen to everyone talk about how great he is. Like, I've played games like that and that works, you know, but you need one or the other. You can't do both. There's plenty of really great villains where the whole thing is, what do they call it? It's called irony, but it's a special kind of irony. It's, I can't think of the term. There's a special kind of irony where the player knows, or the reader, or the whatever, us experiencing the story, we know something, but the characters don't. And that works really well with, like, villains like Vayne, where everyone that you talk to is talking about how great he is, and you just want to say, like, no, he's evil, but you can't, because you're the only ones that know, and you'll be arrested if you say anything. So you have to go around listening to how great he is the whole game, but dramatic irony, that's what it is. So, you know, you have to hold it in the whole time, and it works so great because then when you finally get to the end and you show that he's evil, and it turns out that he's a fraud, then you as the player get to be like, aha, I gotcha, you know. So it's great when it's done well. And I think they could have done it well with Vayne. I think they could have done it in a way where, like, that speech actually captured the hearts of everyone, and everywhere you go, everyone's just touting Vayne as the best, but it doesn't go that way. So do I have to walk, like, all the way out of this place? Yikes. There's gotta be a teleport somewhere, right? Man, if there's a hunt here and you gotta walk all the way back down, that's gonna suck. That kind of makes me want to explore more of the crystal, because who knows when we'll be back, but... I guess when we come back, we'll be stronger and we can just blast everything, so... Yes, but actually no. Yeah, Seymour kind of starts that way, but then like, you have the scene with, like, Guadosalam and stuff where it's mostly with Titus, where Titus, like, knows he's evil, but no one else is going with it. So he gets his aha moment later. But in general, Seymour turns evil pretty fast. Seymour's great, such a great villain, because you get to see how, like, at first, like, his evilness multiplies every time you see him. First time you see him, he's just like, oh, I want to marry Yuna and get the power, and then by the time you fight him the last time, he's like, I've become sin. And he's like gone completely nuts, and you're like, bro, you got eaten by sin. You haven't become sin. And he's like, don't worry, I got time. I love that dialogue. That final dialogue with Seymour is so good. He's just completely lost his mind. He's like, I have become sin, and they're like, no, you haven't. And he's like, oh, I got all the time in the world, who cares? I mean, I could do it. You can't kill sin, so I'll just figure it out. By all means, try. That's such a great dialogue. They'd even like the characters seem kind of done with this crap. They're just like, yeah, whatever, dude. Like, we're just gonna kill you again. You know, like, this dude's lost it. Uh-oh. We did kill this thing once, right? I forget what he's weak against. Man, there's all these enemies that were weak against Holy that I haven't been able to do any damage to. And now Fran can just blast them. This guy, though, he's gonna heal from it. Not doing any damage. Fran's doing damage at least. Oh my god, there's so many behemoths. Oh, what is happening? Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is bad. Oh, we're not having a good time. Oh my god, what is happening? The game is lagging. Oh, this is not good. Oh, this is not good. Hold on. Back up. Holy cow. Quick, use Benella. She'll know what to do. Oh, he's back. I'm prepared this time, though. Man, Vaughn is doing so much damage. That sword is so strong. Does it? I forget if it does dark damage or just kills. No, it just kills. I do have a ninja sword that does dark damage. Stupid elementals are like immune to everything. Somehow Fran dodged the dispel. Maybe she's too far away. But that time she didn't. Dude, Deathbringer does sound like a metal band. We played that, let's do damage. We played that FPS metal rhythm game, Hellbringer, right? Hellsinger? Hellringer? Helllinger? Hellsinger? Hellsinger. I'm pretty sure it's Hellsinger. It was really fun. I added it to our wish list for Trophy Quest, I think. But we played the demo. It was really fun. Apparently the game's a bit short. But other than that, people really like it. And I really liked it. It's hard though. Yeah, Metal Hellsinger. No, I downloaded a demo for Forspoken. And I saw the demo for Hellsinger and I was like, why not? So that day that we played the Forspoken demo, I also played that demo. And gotta say, I enjoyed it much more than Forspoken. Unfortunately. Forspoken was a bit of a yikes. These things are weak against Holy, right? How's it going, Ataro? It had more problems than just that, honestly. It had a lot of problems. Oh, it's a Chinese name, so I'll probably butcher it if I try to do it from memory. Does anyone remember the name? I want to say it was Z-U-A-N, but then I can't remember the second word. Zhuan something sword. Zhuan Huan? Zhuan Huan sword? 7? I believe. It's a Chinese only, it's actually Taiwanese RPG series that was only over there until the 7th installment. And the 7th installment came to English. That's on PS4. And it was a really, really good game. Really cool game. According to reviews, it's a bit short. And that was like the only big gripe. But if you can get it on sale, which right now it is on sale, on the winter sale, Christmas sale, it was really cool. Really unique game. Very culturally interesting and cool. If you're into Chinese folklore and kind of that whole aesthetic, you'd enjoy it. If you like tacos, you'll like it. That was definitely one of the best BSN roulettes we've ever had. because it was a cool game, it was culturally significant, it had a cool backstory, and the game itself was really fun. And the story was like crazy. I was impressed. I expected it to be super simple and normal, and then it got good. Oh, Mantic, did I remember to thank you for your 25 months? Thank you, man. This part of the game was your favorite? Was always your favorite? A lot of people were saying that. I thought it was pretty good. A little bit of a story twist, cool dungeon, interesting enemies. The music inside the crystal is pretty good. I don't really like this song much, but the song inside the crystal was cool. And there were 2 bosses. The dragon thing was cool. The boss I fought, the summon boss, was pretty lame. He didn't really do anything. He just cast Flare like twice and just kind of killed him. But that was a pretty cool area overall. I'm just kind of going around bio and everything. It does so much damage, and nothing seems to be immune to it. And it's kind of what it was supposed to be. And that is kind of what it is, but the combat is definitely refined enough to where it doesn't feel like a clunky MMO. I am truly impressed with the combat in this game. It should feel like a clunky MMO, but somehow it doesn't. I think a lot of it has to do with just the fluidity of the menus. What direction did they take for 13? You ever see that meme of the car that's like obviously was gonna stay on the highway, and then at the very last second they like tried to pull off and they didn't really make it, and they're like about to hit the center from going to the exit? I feel like 13 is basically like, we're gonna make 12, we're gonna make 12, we're gonna make 12, we're gonna make 12. Action RPG! I think that's what 13 is. We're gonna make another 12, we're gonna make another 12, we're gonna make another 12. Wait. I actually do enjoy 13's combat, but it also has some issues, which we'll get there when we get there. But it's not bad. And it's unique enough to where it stands out. Yeah, I mean, 13 definitely has its fans. Let's not get it twisted here. 13 was one of the most popular in the series. That's why I got 2 sequels. It has its fans. It sold really well. But I think going back to it now, it's going to feel a bit outdated. We'll see though. But when it came out, it was It was popular for the right reasons and the wrong reasons. A lot of people liked the dunk on it, but a lot of people really liked it. I think a lot of people just really like the characters, really like Lightning. It hit that certain pop culture zeitgeist of edgy main character. Lightning was basically Knuckles. You think it sold well because it was the first PS3? Maybe. Very possibly, honestly. It's weird. 13 is really an anomaly because all I ever heard was people dunking on 13. But then it sold so well that it got 2 sequels. Or yeah, that's what I imagine happened, is that because why would they make 2 sequels if it didn't sell well? So it's interesting. It may have just been because it was the first PS3. It might have been the Balan Wonderworld effect, where everyone had to buy it so they could dunk on it. You know, I don't know. They're certainly not a bad game, just one that the community dunks on sometimes. And it may have aged kind of poorly. I'm kind of interested to see how I think of it now. Yeah, we made it out. That wasn't that bad to get out.